So we need to revisit this very issue and ask whether this is the best way of handling our mineral wealth. This country is rich, make no mistake. In terms of minerals, diamonds and everything else, huge. But we are, why? Because we've not become creative in thinking about the wealth that we have.
Yes, here we are. It's the few leader who can speak like that we are not creative to think on the wealth that we have here in the continent of Africa. If we can start thinking properly on how we can benefit from our natural resources, I hope this Africa will not become a begging continent. We will end the notion of looks like beggars on the front of others, and from there will be respected. So this time it looks like Africa is a begging continent. The thing that is not true. Africa, we have everything. Africa, we have blessed by everything, but we are still looks like beggars. Why? Because we are not thinking properly on the wealth that we have here in the continent of Africa.
Wait until I meet Trump himself. Just wait until I meet him. And after I've met him, wait for his tweets. He will tell you. And after I've met him, wait for his tweets. He will tell you.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you, dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans. That is Mr. Duma Gideon Boko, the president of Botswana, answering the question from journalists who asked him about what he will do if he will meet with President of United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. This question comes after African leaders seemed like humiliated by Donald Trump and seemed like they're afraid to express themselves in the front of U.S. administration or in the front of U.S. leaders such as Mr. Donald Trump. As you heard, Duma Boko said, wait until he meet Donald Trump, and Donald Trump himself, he will give us the answer through what he will tweet. So let us wait and see what will happen if President Duma Gideon Boko of Botswana will meet Mr. Donald Trump. And of course, African leaders now have started to recognize that they need to stand for the interests of their countries. What America is standing, or any kind of leader of US is standing for the interest of America and the citizen and the people of America, not for the people of Africa. So that's why you see Africans now have been asking difficult questions to their leaders about the interest of Africa, not the interest of America. So, kings and queens, President Duma Gideon Boko has expressed himself while he's visiting these nations. In his statements, he said he's not enjoying the way people feel that maybe he's enjoying to be outside there. He did not even go to the shopping, and he went to Estonia, where the president of the leadership of Estonia told him that in Estonia, president has no leave, has no vacation. That is by law. But even himself, he said in Botswana, he is doing the same, that there's no leave, there's no vacation for the president of Botswana. So it is all about work. Listen here what he's saying. Maybe you can witness my words. Welcome.
Holiday. There's no weekend. There's no night. There's no day. You work. Every day until 12 midnight. You work. So there's no... The president of Estonia was telling me in his country the president has no leave, no vacation. By law. I said to him, in my country it's not by law, but it's pretty much the same thing. So it's work. We need to understand this. So the Lobito is...
Yes, you heard what President Duma Boko is saying. So ask ourselves, how many African leaders have no leave, as no vacation? Many of our leaders are enjoying to go to Europe to do shopping. Some of them are going to seek treatment. We have seen many of our leaders are in Europe enjoying, some of them taking photos. I think the time has come, even we Africans, to pass, I think, the law like the law in Estonia, that if you have applied for the job of serving our nations or our country, you have to work. There's no leave, there's no vacation. You have to work for us. But in Africa, you find some of our leaders stealing money, going to Dubai, going to London, to Paris. When they seek treatment. And of course, we saw President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. He went to Paris, to Leicester, to think about next term. Just imagine. Do we need such kind of leaders? I think no. We cannot blame Tinubu. Of course, he's too old. But what I want to insist, maybe we have to elect young people. You see, Duma Boko is so courageous, is so powerful. He has ambition. So we need to find young leaders and to determine them and to give them mandate to lead the African nations. And if we can do so, I hope these things of some African leaders running away to seek treatment, to last in Europe, in Paris, will come to an end. So, kings and queens, Duma Boko is doing very well. And there's those who have been asking me about Captain Ibrahim Traore. We saw, not only Traore, we saw, you remember 5 years ago, the late president of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, he didn't travel outside of the continent of Africa. He traveled to South Africa, he traveled to Rwanda, to Uganda, he went to, I think, Addis, in the African Union. Also, he went to, I think, a few countries. If it is not Malawi, something like that. He visited few countries. He said, I cannot go to Europe while my people are suffering. The budget to go to Europe is huge. Those amount of money I can invest in education. Those amount of money I can invest in healthcare. So there's no need for me to go there, because if I go there, I'm going just to take a photo. I'm not interested for the photo opportunities. That's why I will remain here. The same to Captain Ibrahim Traore. You saw Captain Ibrahim Traore didn't went to beg, as we see other African leaders did in the previous. They went to Europe to beg for things, small things that we have here in the continent of Africa. So that's what we want to see. Traore traveled in Niger, in Ghana, and also in Mali. And he went to Russia to his best friend, President Putin. And we know Russia is our best friend. So he went to 4 countries only. But we have leaders who, after every 3 months, he is in Paris. We have leaders after every few months he's in London. And he has attended all these Africa summits. He went to China, he went to Russia, he went to UK, he went to Italy, he went to Seoul, South Korea, he went to America, he went to Paris. He has attended almost every meeting. You may ask, what's the purpose of those meetings? So we have to choose what we want. So, sometimes you become wondering. We have resources. We have so blessed with natural resources. But how are we benefit from our natural resources? Do we need to go and beg for the thing that we can produce here? I think no, we need to have a good plan for our natural resources. And of course, President Duma Boko has touched that issue, that we need to see how we can benefit from our natural resources. Listen what President Duma Gideon Boko of Botswana has said about our natural resources and how others are doing. They come to us, they do little things, then they go to banks, then they took money, then they put our minerals as an asset, then they remain there, they rest. If those who given those money, they want their money, they come to take our natural resources. That's what they're doing. Listen what President Duma Boko has said.
So we need to revisit this very issue and ask whether this is the best way of handling our mineral wealth. This country is rich, make no mistake. In terms of minerals, diamonds and everything else, huge. But we are, why? Because we've not become creative in thinking about the wealth that we have. It doesn't serve us, we are not even trading. You can actually create financial instruments and monetize these minerals before you even market them. So what do some of these companies do? They come here, they do a little prospecting, they go out into the capital markets and say, and people give them money. And they don't do anything. They've made the money. Rona bemba dilo tse re ntse ha re ipotere ra nnetse go lla re le ha tsele tshonne sepatše se makgwakgwa ke rona re se ira makgwakgwa ka go tlhoka dikakanyo tse di ka re tsweletsang re tlhokana le gore re boele jaanong ha re santse re baakanya dilo tse ga go reye gore maduo a sa go rogile.
Yes, that is Mr. Duma Gideon Boko, the president of Botswana. One thing that he said here is the issue of being creative. We need to be creative on our resources. You know, this thing of calling others, inviting others, it's because of lack of creativity. We lack creativity. We don't think that even we Africans, we can add value to our natural resources. We don't know how to use our resources. We don't know how to use gold. We don't know how to use cotton because we are not creative. We need to start building capacities on how we can become creative. Maybe the kind of food that we consume, that's why we are not creative. Maybe because we are lazy. I don't understand why we are not creative. Why others? You know, in Africa, you can find that we have resources, but we don't know how to extract those resources. But you find Europeans, they don't have such kind of resources, but they know how to process those resources. They know how to extract. So what's wrong with us as Africans? So I think President Duma Boko has insisted that we need to be creative, to create creativity on our resources. And these things that we have been talking about, value addition, how can we add value if we are not creative? To add value, we need to be creative. We need to understand what I can do with this thing, what I can add in this gold. How can we exchange my knowledge to make more money on my diamond, on my cobalt, on cotton? If we can start thinking like that, I think we can make a lot of money. You see, what President Boko has said, that people are coming to our countries, they are investing, they're trying to do things, they get licensed, then they do little things, then they go to the financial institutions. Then they said, I'm learning this project, so I need money. What they do, they took money, then they do nothing. I have an example in a certain African country, I cannot mention that country, where these investors came, take a piece of land, huge piece of land, then went to World Bank, and they took money, and then they did nothing. Then when the time to return those money came, the World Bank came to that country, say, this is our land, because there's someone who put this as a lease to take money. So we are going to take this portion or this part of the land because the one who owned this part of the land has taken our money. The place was taken by World Bank, and World Bank find another investor who have money and give that area. In that area, Africans, black people are not allowed to enter. And that area is within the continent of Africa. Just imagine something like that. That's what's happening in many places. Even these minerals, I have saying this many times, that at the end of the year, at the end of the day, maybe 20 to 30 years to come, Africa will find have nothing. Because right now we are giving resources to others. Few years to come, we'll find that we have nothing. So as President Duma Boko said, we need to be creative. We need to think beyond our expectations. We need to see what we can do. We need to create a generation of how. So up to that, dear lovely family, have no more to add, but the aim is to share this video from the President vision, from the President of Botswana, President Duma Gideon Boko, how he's so courageous, how he's so energetic, and of course, he's joining the team of Pan-Africanist leaders such as Captain Ibrahim Traore, Madam Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah of Namibia, also President of Niger, Dramani Chan, President of Mali, Assimi Goita, and many others. But there's few leaders who have disappointed us. For instance, the president of Liberia has disappointed us. President of Senegal, Diomaye Faye, has disappointed. He's young, but he's disappointed many Africans after asking Trump to invest in golf instead of investing on the thing that can support many Africans. So we don't like golf. We are not much interested in golf, but we are interested in healthcare. If you can invest in healthcare, you can save many people, especially in the continent of Africa. If you invest in education, also you can serve many people, because education is for all. Healthcare is for all, is touching almost a majority, but golf is touching few. At least football is touching many Africans, but golf, I think, in Africa, especially in my homeland, golf is played by those who have money, rich people. So I think, but all in all, we're here to share our thoughts, to find best solutions for our challenges. The aim is to build the Africa that all of us we want, to share what we think is supposed to be shared, so that we can build the Africa that all of us we want. Up to that, dear lovely family, let me say stay in power. See you next time. We are here to bring changes. We are here to share our thoughts so that we can make Africa a great. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.